Tonight, a convicted sex offender is headed to prison for the rest of his life. A jury convicted Jimmy Weeks of failing to register as a sex offender and living too close to a school, and they recommended a sentence of life in prison.
News on 6's Amy Kaufman is on the story in Rogers County with why they want to send such a tough message. Amy?
Well, Jimmy Weeks has a long history of sex crimes here in Rogers County, and after a quick jury trial today, he was sentenced to life in prison for living too close to a school. Today I spoke with community members who say they're very happy with this verdict.
It's our job and our duty to keep them safe from anything, anyone, because we're entrusted in their lives.
Regina Trainer has worked at the Big Star Kids and Company daycare for 10 years and says they were always cautious of Jimmy Weeks.
We worry about it constantly and kind of keep an eye on the house that he stays at over there and who's out there, and we constantly look over there and see what's going on.
Weeks is no stranger to the Rogers County Jail. Today, a jury recommended the sentence of 65 years for failing to register as a sex offender and life in prison for living too close to a school.
We expect sex offenders to comply with the law, to register as they're supposed to, and to stay out of the safe zones that protect our community, our children.
Weeks originally said he lived on Maple Avenue in a house that burnt down years ago. But investigators later found out he was staying in a house on 3rd Avenue, which is across the street from Foyle Elementary School and next to the daycare. So prosecutors say it was really easy to come up with a guilty verdict.
I asked the jury to send a message to Mr. Weeks of what they thought of his violations of the sex offender registration laws, and I think that they did just that by their verdict.
Which gives people in the community reassurance that he will never get out.
I'm glad, glad that he is locked away.
Weeks will be formally sentenced on November 3rd. Live on the scene on the story in Claremore, Amy Kaufman, News on 6.